Good afternoon, or is it good morning? No, it's good afternoon. It's Bill Race, and we are tracking numerous storms and showers on radar, and we'll begin our discussion here in just a moment. I'm checking on the audio. I'm checking on the audio. Well, that's good. That is working. So, good afternoon again, and it has become a day with numerous showers and storms, especially along our counties, even from Chattanooga west and north. It's a very busy time right now. There was one warning for Franklin County. Let me see when that expires. Let's see here. I'm just kind of getting set up here, so bear with me just a moment. Looks like that warning may have ended or expired, but I'm going to double check. Many special weather statements have come out. And I'm sure there's a good chance there'll be some more warnings come out as well. So best I can tell, that warning has expired. And we're just going to kind of hang in there. This is, nothing really specifically that is really getting my attention so far. I would say, though, and it's raining very hard here at this television station. We also have some storms extending into northwest Georgia. So let's just kind of take a look around here and see. This has happened very quickly here late this morning, this afternoon. So we'll put these into a loop, and you'll see how the storms have been developing, moving through Chickamauga now, and also Lafayette, approaching Dalton down in northwest Georgia, although the Dalton showers are a little lighter at this point. Also, an area that's been getting some very heavy rain is north of Chattanooga. It's like Pikeville getting in the rain. Sale Creek, Soddy Daisy, Altamont. Some very heavy rain, and I'm sure I don't see too much of the lightning signatures. There's a few areas that have that up towards Dunlap right now. That seems to be maybe one of the stronger areas, just a little northwest of Dunlap and into Grundy County, from Sequatchie into Grundy. This could take a little time before this all kind of winds down, so we're going to stick with it here for a little while. Well, that Franklin County warning, when it first came out, was up until 1:30 Eastern, so it should still be in there unless they have canceled it. But I don't see it on our map here. Let me just take the radar down for a second and let me look again, just so I can make sure. But I don't see. Let's go take a look at that. I don't see any warnings still in effect there. Winchester was under that warning just barely, and it still is raining quite hard around there. It could be that it did weaken a little bit, though. So we'll keep an eye on that. Meantime, here's kind of the overview with numerous showers and storms in the area. So we have well, it doesn't look good driving from Knoxville to Chattanooga right now. Although I-75 is still not too busy there as far as storms are concerned, but they're moving in to that area. So from about McMinn County, western fringe, right on the county line there of Meigs and McMinn, down to the southwest to around Lafayette and really almost Dalton now. So it's crossing the interstate in Georgia. It's mostly west of I-75 for most of the stronger storms at this point. And of course, it's one of those things that, can change very rapidly in these situations as far as going from nothing to a strong storm. So we're just kind of monitoring in case another warning or some warnings were issued. I wanted to get in here and just give you an update as far as that is concerned. So far, we've had many special weather statements, but the warnings have not been that numerous. In fact, I just saw the one, and that was for Franklin County. which is a little surprising because some of these storms look intense enough, but you can't really tell just by the reflectivity here, what we call reflectivity. That's what we're seeing here is mostly where the most intense rain is, and not so much um, where the strongest storms are, but you would expect that the heaviest rain would be within the strongest storms. So that's kind of how we interpret that. So we're just going to hang out. Yeah, let's look at future track. We can do that. Kind of get an idea of what's coming up the next few hours. Just hang with me here. Mhm. Okay, what you're going to see come up here is our rapid refresh model. This is 2 p.m., and you see that it's still pretty busy with showers and storms. We'll move along here, 3 p.m. The trend here is for these to weaken as we go through the afternoon, but they're still active even at 3, 4 o'clock, but less activity as it gets towards the end of the afternoon and this evening. So once again, this isn't going to just be perfect as far as all the areas that get storms and rain, but what I like to look at is just the trend that it's still hanging out. The rain is and the storms, into the certainly into the middle part of the afternoon, and then late afternoon diminishing. You could use some rain in Cleveland. I would say there's a pretty good chance of that here before it's all said and done. There's some close by, a little bit north of Cleveland, perhaps, though. But there are some showers headed in that direction from the south, I see, from the southwest. Definitely the most concentrated area of showers and thunder showers are from western McMinn and Meigs County, and then in a line to the southwest that reaches through Sequatchie and Grundy County and Marion County. All those areas seeing pockets of heavy thunderstorms, strong thunderstorms. Good news is no warnings as of yet. A warning has popped up to the west there of, I don't know if you can see that, but it's west of Franklin County and west of Jackson County. I'll just move that over a little bit for you. That's still the storms just a little north of Huntsville. And that warning just came out. Mm, yeah, these really haven't. A lot of it hasn't weakened much, but over the next couple of hours, I would suspect we would see some weakening, just the way that the models are handling this. So right now, we are watching showers and storms again from really a little northeast and north of Chattanooga as far as the direction from Chattanooga, but from about Athens down to Chattanooga and then to the northwest of that line is where the most concentrated areas of showers and storms are. But again, not producing any warnings at this moment. So we are happy about that so far, but that doesn't mean it's safe to be out in this right now because that's some very heavy rain. There's some lightning involved. And so with that in mind, if you see the white colors that are illuminating above the colors of red and yellow, those are the lightning strikes. And so these storms do contain a good deal of lightning, especially the ones in Tennessee. So after a day yesterday where we had a little break from the showers and storms, and we went into today with weather alert because we did expect a little more activity as far as showers and storms are concerned, and it hasn't disappointed us as far as that's concerned. But the showers and storms, they are still, covering up a good part of the northern half of the viewing area right now. But also some in Northwest Georgia, and looks like Dalton, if someone is in Dalton, you might be able to give us a update. It looks like a storm or a heavy rain shower at least is nearby. Whitfield County has a couple areas there. Hello to all of you. I see a couple questions about Athens, Tennessee. I mean, I would say that it's scattered, but I would say Athens is about to get some heavy rain from that cell. Let me show you that. It's close. It's that particular cell looks like it's getting close to Athens, but whether or not it gets over there, it gets over Athens or not completely, still a little question in my mind. But there's more to come after that. Meanwhile, the eastern part of the viewing area has been pretty void of the thunderstorms, the extreme eastern part, like Cherokee County in North Carolina, Polk County, Monroe, down into so far Murray County, although the storms, some scattered storms are developing, have been developing and moving into Murray County just a little bit here. Hello, Stephen. Yes, I remember. I didn't get a good look at, let me look real quick here. I was wondering the storms themselves, how they were moving, and then we can get a little estimate on some arrival times. Let's see, these storms. Yeah, moving east at just 10 miles per hour. So that's not much speed, and that also puts you in a flash flood risk in some of these areas. So I'm going to stop this for a second, and then we will see about some estimated times here. I'm going to just pick one area here. Now, this is going to be, I'm going to put it out there at about 20 miles per hour. So, in that case, as far as that leading line, that more concentrated area of rain, Dunlap at 1238, which is pretty much coming up. Also, Whitwell 1246. Those are central times. South Pittsburgh 1 o'clock central. Long Island 113. Sale Creek 226. Now that doesn't mean you won't have some rain before that, but I'm just kind of was looking at that more solid area, that solid line of showers and storms. I'm here. I'm just kind of watching with you. So let me give you a little rundown as far as this particular line that's a little more concentrated here. And we'll move around the map a little bit too. Um, right in just about in the middle of your screen, there's Pikeville and Bledsoe County, and some pretty strong storms out to the west of you. Now, not warned storms, but they are producing some pretty heavy rainfall, I imagine. Right through here. Dunlap, you're looking like you're in the middle of a pretty strong thunderstorm with heavy, heavy rain, or at least, Dunlap and surrounding there. I see Kimberly is on, telling me that it's raining at our house. A little bit. Anyway, we go down from Dunlap then. And we find South Pittsburgh just about in the middle of the map here. And again, we have off to the west of South Pittsburgh that line of heavier showers and thunderstorms. So that'll be moving in during the next 30 minutes. And that's kind of the end of that line, really. Then you move over a little farther to the east. And Sale Creek, Soddy Daisy looks like just a little north of Soddy Daisy, a very intense storm with considerable lightning. So I'll put that in the middle here. At least I think I will. Also near Ooltewah, a heavy shower. The last special weather statement that was sent out was at 15 minutes past the hour, so nothing really too new there. Now we'll move a little farther to the east. Sweetwater, Decatur already in getting some heavy rain. Athens, you are still in the clear of the rain, at least based on this data, but it's getting very close. So let me show you that. So that's continuing to develop, and I think for the middle of McMinn County, including Athens, you'll be seeing showers and thunderstorms move through here pretty quick. Down in North Georgia, things were pretty intense there for a minute, but now they have calmed down a little bit in Catoosa County. Downtown Chattanooga looks like they are receiving a thunder shower right now, and near East Ridge as well. Maybe not so much downtown as much as it's close to downtown, but it's a little bit east. The heaviest rain may have already crossed through downtown. So those are some of the highlights here as far as, or I don't know if highlights is a good word, but though that is some of where more of the intense storms have been here recently and are right now. So we just kind of continue to watch if we may come off the stream here in a little bit if the warnings are being held off at this point. and then come back in a little bit here and check out what has been going on in this. If we have some warnings, I'll be right back. I'm kind of interested in this particular cell right in the middle of the screen here that it has been intensifying between Sale Creek and Soddy Daisy. And it's just been kind of hanging out there. It really hasn't moved very much here lately. It's just kind of stationary. So my concern is that not only could you have, you're having very heavy rain with that and dangerous lightning, but you could also be getting close to some flash flooding there just because of that. Also in Dunlap, they have also been seeing some heavy rain for a little while. There's a warning that has just come up right where we were talking about. So let me read that to you. So the National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southeast Sequatchie County, central Hamilton County, that's what we were just talking about, until 2:30 Eastern time. So that's up for about 50 minutes. At 1:39, which was just about a minute ago, a severe thunderstorm was located near Soddy Daisy, or 9 miles southeast of Dunlap, and is nearly stationary. So we just had talked about that. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are the main hazard with this, but I would add that some flash flooding may end up being one of the problems with that particular situation there. But that is not from the Weather Service. They did not mention that. And I'm just observing, as far as what I'm seeing here, because that's some pretty heavy rain right there. Lisa says hearing rumblings in Soddy Daisy. The strongest part of that storm looks to be a little north of Soddy Daisy, between Sale Creek and Soddy Daisy, just to the west of Highway 27. Athens looks like you're just about getting ready to see some rain and perhaps a heavy thunder shower, a strong thunder shower. That polygon in the middle of the screen is where the warning is. Not too much yet in the extreme eastern part of the viewing area, not made it there yet. This is all moving across the same areas from southwest to northeast. So that is a problem. That could become a problem in Marion County near South Pittsburgh, where it's now starting, just about ready to start raining if it's not already. Dunlap, Pikeville, even Athens could eventually get into a situation where it's raining for a continued period of time. So we saw this the other day, and it did create some flash flooding problems. So I just don't want to forget about that. If you're just joining us, there is a warning out there's a severe thunderstorm warning, and it's for southeastern Sequatchie County and central Hamilton County until 2:30. That's Eastern time. So there is the information as far as that's concerned. Parts of Hamilton and Sequatchie, cities like Lakeside, Sale Creek, Soddy Daisy, until 2:30. Those cities or those towns are just some examples that the Weather Service puts up. So you want to be very cautious here between Sale Creek and Soddy Daisy right now, where this warning is in effect. Also, it extends just barely into Sequatchie County. And let me see if we can. I wanted to get in pretty close here, but I don't think any towns are going to come up here. But it's near 111, Highway 111. And then if you go a little farther to the west, this area here that's been crossing through Dunlap, looks like it's going to get a little lighter in Dunlap here, starting to move out the heaviest of the rain. But it had rain there for a little while. And a little north of there is where the storms become a little more lightning filled. We also have a this is all along the same line of storms, I'm calling it. Just west of Whitwell, just a little north of Jasper. So they're so far have been missing most of the heavy rain and a lot of the rain in general, like Jasper, but there's more to the southwest that will likely affect them. South Pittsburgh looks like you're still kind of in waiting for this. And again, that particular area may stay a little west of South Pittsburgh now that I look a little closer at it. McMinn County starting to fill up with some rain. And down in North Georgia, one of the areas that has been seeing some heavier rainfall, Whitfield County, and now into Murray County. It's a kind of a small area there. We'll center that up. Some areas, no problems, hardly any rain in some places. But in others, we have some very heavy rain and some lightning and dangerous lightning and some strong wind gusts, I'm sure. The particular warning that's in effect for Sequatchie and Hamilton County, there is considerable lightning involved with that. So that can be a very dangerous storm. And we just are kind of keeping an eye on things here for you. I'm going to read you a special weather statement that is just, well, has it just come out? It's kind of odd. Yeah, so just now, the folks in Huntsville have put out a special weather statement. Strong thunderstorm will impact northwest Jackson, northern Madison, and southeast Lincoln counties through 1:30 p.m. Central Time. Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm over Hazel Green or near Meridianville, moving southeast at 15 miles per hour. Again, slow movement. Now that's a little bit, I'm thinking a little farther to the west. I've seen Hazel Green on the map before. There it is. Yeah, I see that at Hazel Green. there is the strong storm there. I'll center it up just so you can see that. And it is pretty intense. That is actually west of Jackson County, but it could impact them eventually. Indications are as we go through the afternoon that this will be diminishing some, not covering quite as much area. But right now, we're right in the middle of the strongest storms, I would say, and the heaviest rain that we've seen. Athens is about to, and looks like you're into some of the rain. Still got some more out to your west. This particular warning is still showing the heaviest rain. Let me see what we can find out here, if anything. Mowbray, north of there, very dangerous lightning. Right at Highway 111, between Flat Top and Mowbray. And that's what we're seeing. There's Erica. Thank you for that. Near the county line. Yeah, that makes sense. Just had Mowbray on the map, but it disappeared. There it is. Right here is Mowbray. And we'll go to the last of the images here. And here is this lightning data showing considerable lightning strikes north of Mowbray. We'll back off of this now for a minute. Another warning. I thought I had heard that, and there it is. This one is for a different cell, and it includes Cleveland. So let me read this to you as well. National Weather Service in Morristown has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for central Bradley County and southeast Hamilton County. And at looks like 1:48, just a few minutes ago, a severe thunderstorm was located near South Cleveland, or 8 miles west of Cleveland, moving east at just 10 miles per hour. The main hazard with this are wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. So that has certainly come into play. Let me show you a little more about that particular cell they're watching. Between Snow, it's not in Ooltewah, it's north of Ooltewah and south of Snow Hill. It's pretty close to the interstate. And let me see, there's Boss Spring. It's pretty close to Boss Spring. A little bit northwest of McDonald, though. Just a few cities to mention here. The warning does include Ooltewah, but I would say that right now, anyway, the strongest part of that storm is a little more north. Let me put that into motion and we'll see. It did clip Ooltewah and then move to the north. So right now, I don't see a big danger for Ooltewah at this point, but just to along the interstate there, near Snow Hill and a little bit southeast of Snow Hill is where certainly we have some very heavy rain. There's Ooltewah Georgetown Road. So that is here. Here's I-75. And right through here is where the strongest part of the cell is now. And that is indicated moving east, but very slowly. All right, we'll get out. We'll back off of this just a second. Another area that from Calhoun to Athens. Athens still not completely into the heaviest rain, it doesn't seem, but close enough. But for Calhoun to Athens, some very strong storms as well. Not too much lightning showing up with those. The storms that concern me in these situations, well, two things. Obviously, the wind gusts, but also this dangerous lightning. And because they're moving so slowly and raining in one area for a long period of time, the flash flood potential. The storms in northwest Georgia have kind of calmed down a little bit, not as many of them, but over towards Chatsworth, getting close is a storm cell. And also, we see those to the south of Dalton right now and east of Dalton. So between Dalton and Chatsworth, pretty strong storm. That's about the most we see in northwest Georgia right now. There are a few other isolated showers, but not like those are, not as intense. It's a pretty busy afternoon. We definitely have our share of showers and storms. I'm hoping that maybe during the next 90 minutes or so, that we'll see this kind of ease up a little bit. But right now, certainly not. Weather alert is up for this afternoon into early evening, especially though the afternoon hours. I'm thinking by early evening, like after 6 p.m., we would see a lot of these storms and showers off the map. There is a tremendous amount of lightning strikes going on in that cell and that warning that was between Soddy Daisy and Sale Creek. We're going to have to take another look at that. And so now Soddy Daisy is getting a little bit covered up by that particular cell as it expands and up to Sale Creek. And that's where the most dangerous lightning is, between those two cities. Maybe, I was going to say maybe it's getting a little bit lighter in lightning strikes, but it isn't by much. So Highway 27 between Sale Creek and Soddy Daisy, very heavy rain going on. And I'm sure some gusty wind and lightning. Kathy, I understand about the anxiety with storms. I had it just about all of my life, it seemed, until I got into the business, and then it kind of went away. I'm not too anxious about it anymore, but I I understand. And I'm sure that things will work out okay. Kathy, where are you located? Like what county even would be enough? Let me back off of this particular storm here. I don't want to keep you hanging on the other areas that are also being affected by thunderstorms. We just have a couple warnings here we were concentrating on. Jackson County in Alabama has started to pick up some more storms as they develop over them. I'm going to check and see what we have as far as anything else. No special weather statements lately, at least not in the last. Oh, I'm not sure what the time was on that. Not in the last 15 minutes or so. The last issuance was a warning for the Bradley County storm, and that is still going on. Bradley and just a small part of Hamilton County in the eastern part of Hamilton County. Tommy reports rain hit Athens just before the top of the hour, and also that West Athens, some power outage. So where the warned areas are is where I'm seeing the most concentrated areas of lightning. And of course, that can be very dangerous. It can knock power out. It can be something that you have to be very respectful of as these storms move through. Far from done, west of there, across Pikeville, still some heavy rain going on. Very heavy rain, in fact, just a little north of Pikeville, and then extending southwest into areas now a little bit southeast of Sewanee, Chattanooga, the downtown area. Looks like they still could see some more showers and thunder showers moving through in the next few minutes. But let me just show you where I would call the biggest concern right now as far as the storms are concerned and where the strongest storms are. Let me put it that way. Between Sale Creek and Soddy Daisy, west of Cleveland, and these are all moving just very slowly to the east. They're more running along a track from southwest to northeast and just a little bit of movement eastward. But that's when you can have the flash flooding. So those two polygons, those are the two warnings that are out right now. And I wanted to be able to tell you when these expired, so let me do that. The one for Bradley and parts of Hamilton is in effect until the bottom of the hour. And so is this one. So they're both, that makes it simpler. This is for Hamilton County, the center part of Hamilton County that we've been talking about. That's also in effect until 2:30 Eastern. Yeah, North Georgia has been spared a lot of the heaviest rain of this and the coverage of the rain. That doesn't mean that those of you in North Georgia, Northwest Georgia, may still see some development here, but it is much more isolated, the storms. But I am noticing still some developing storms that are strengthening just right in Trenton, very close to there, from Trenton north. Get Trenton on the map here. So between Trenton and Whiteside, that's a developing storm that has intensified quite rapidly along just a little west of Interstate 59. Whitwell has kind of got between the rain right now, but there's more out to the west that will likely get into Whitwell and Sequatchie County, in Marion County as well. Marion County, like where Whitwell and South Pittsburgh. South Pittsburgh, you've been avoiding these rain showers pretty much as far as the heaviest rain, but you still have some to your south that could affect you. So there's an overview. And let me see, I see something that came in here. This is a flood advisory. And I'm going to read this to you about the flood advisory. At 4 minutes past the hour, Doppler radar indicated heavy rain due to thunderstorms. Minor flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly in the advisory area. Up to 2 inches of rain has fallen in some of these areas. Additional rainfall of 1 to 2 inches are expected over the area this afternoon. This additional rain will result in minor flooding. Some locations that will experience flooding include Soddy Daisy, Lakeside, Graysville, Flat Top Mountain, Mowbray Mountain, Shady Grove, Sale Creek, North Chickamauga Creek. That would be the North Chickamauga Creek Gorge, they call that. But let me tell you where this advisory: South Central Bledsoe County, North Central Hamilton County, Southwest Ray County, and East Central Sequatchie County are where this flood advisory is in effect. And what that means is flooding caused by excessive rainfall is expected. It's a little different than a flood warning, and it's a little different than a flash flood warning. It's more of a just a kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of on a lower level than a flood warning. Maybe just the amounts of rain that are expected. But in the meantime, we are seeing those areas really getting a lot of rain. So I was thinking of like through here into that warned area and extending back westward as well. Still some heavy rain there. Some heavier thunder showers starting to move through Murray County now, exiting Whitfield County. McMinn County is just about filled up with rain now, and a little south of Athens now is where some of the heaviest rain is. Cleveland is kind of in the middle of it all. I'm going to take these warnings off the screen just so we can see that a little easier. And yes, especially in western part of Cleveland, some very heavy rain. Yeah, that lightning must be really intense as far as the storm that was near Soddy Daisy and Sale Creek. Still going on. Another special weather statement, this one out of Huntsville. The storm location of this is 5 miles south of Huntland, Tennessee, moving northeast at 15. Strong thunderstorm will impact northwestern Jackson and southwest Franklin counties through 1:45 p.m. Central Time. At 1:09 Central, Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm near Huntland, or 15 miles southwest of Winchester, moving northeast at a slow 15 miles per hour. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour possible. Below severe standards, but still plenty strong. And I know I'm still on these warnings, but let me show you Jackson County. So Jackson County, after it kind of cleared out a little bit, it has re-intensified some of the storms, and that's what they have some concern over. Here's Huntland in Tennessee, just across the border. I see it. Right here. So they, I am imagining, are looking at this particular area of storms here that extend down into northwest Jackson County. We'll put this on a wide scale here right now. So you might be able to pick up your area. We still have 2 warnings out until 30 minutes past the hour, so about 20 minutes from now. And that's for central Hamilton County, and then for Bradley County, and just a small part of eastern Hamilton County. And we're just kind of observing those 2 warnings are where the most intense lightning is still. So I would suspect that the chances of power outages will also have to be considered here, especially where this lightning has been so intense. Let me see if I can, I'll try to pull up the EPB power grid here and see if they have how many outages may be going on. So I'm kind of looking here, looking for the right data. Definitely some outages. I can't find real quick here the number of outages just yet. Not too many. 22 customers affected, it says. That's not too many. But that could grow. Probably a little early on in the reporting process there. As far as hail is concerned, if you're asking, is there any around? I have not, the warnings did not include the chances of hail being very prominent. And just looking at these cells, I don't see the typical hail signature, but any storms can produce some hail, but I haven't heard of any. And our observers here that we see commenting haven't mentioned any hail. Storming in Cleveland now is reported from Amanda. Thank you for that. And we have, they're in the warned area. Very slow mover. Just doesn't get out of the area very fast at all that it's raining at. Right in the middle of those two polygons, those are the two warnings, and they've been raining for a while, especially the one in central Hamilton County. Southern McMinn County also getting some very heavy rain now. Athens, some crossed through, but not the heaviest of the rain. And they're in, looks like a little bit of a break right now. Some cells are starting to look intense out to the west in Jackson County, Alabama, Franklin County, Tennessee, as we see some individual cells more so than the line, although the line seems to be trying to form again. Right in the Trenton area, we were looking at earlier that these storms looked like they were intensifying, and it is north of Trenton. That is Highway 11, just to the northwest of there. Between Whiteside and Trenton, there is a heavy cell, and also east of Whiteside. That's a pretty long cell of heavy rain. We're getting more thunder here at the television station now. We had some heavy rainfall without the thunder. Now we're starting to receive some of the thunder with one particular storm, apparently. We may be seeing the southern edge of the storms that are under the warning. Let me just take a look at that. Yeah, looks like we may be catching a little bit of that. Now, I don't know how much it's raining out there, but I just hear the thunder. Looks pretty dark. Let me just get our little pointer here. This is Highway 58. These are the storms that are creating the warning. and looks like it's kind of trying to nose its way down southward into the 58 Highway 58 area. So that is kind of what I wanted to look at, because I wanted to see what's going to happen to me. I'm just kidding. I'm not too worried about that. But I do want you to take this very seriously. It is a serious situation with the amount of lightning strikes and the heavy rain going on. You could easily get yourself into some driving trouble with this, especially in Hamilton County right now and over in the Bradley County where those warnings are. Mandy is feeling a little anxious. The good news is that we haven't had too many warnings. It's the criteria for the warnings of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts potential and hail a certain size just isn't happening at this point. So that's some good news. But some gusty wind. But I don't want you to be scared. As the Weather Service used to say, be cautious, but don't be afraid. Thunderstorms are usually of short duration. That was their message. In this case, though, not so short where they're going on. Well, let's see here. Just an update on the outages, not too much difference, just 25 affected that have been reported, 25 customers. So it doesn't seem to be a big power problem with these, although those reports still may be coming in. Now, in about 8 minutes, these two warnings are going to end, and then we'll see what the Weather Service offices are going to end up doing as far as will they continue to have a warning for these areas, because it really hasn't changed a whole lot, and they're still going on some of these very significant storms in the warned area. But we also have strong storms out in northeast Alabama, in Jackson County, and not extending down into DeKalb yet. The southern part of McMinn County with some very heavy rain and lightning. Pikeville, you had some pretty intense lightning earlier, but now it has eased up a bit and more just light rain there. Northwest Georgia has been really escaping a lot of this. And someone was asking about Chatsworth. Let's see. Lee, I think that there's still going to be a chance for some thunderstorms, and there is a couple very close to you, if not already in your area, but those will move off, and then it's a little quieter after that. But these have been redeveloping, and so I don't want to just give you an all clear by any means after what you're having now. Let me just show you that. So yeah, a storm just passing, maybe a little north of Chatsworth, but real close. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, here in a few minutes, our warnings will be updated, and we'll see if they continue those warnings or if they let them expire. The one in central Hamilton County, I'd be surprised if they just let expire. It doesn't look like it really has changed very much, and they're getting rain in the same areas there. So let me show you those areas that have me concerned for some flash flooding. Soddy Daisy, certainly. Right along Highway 27, going from like the one where it attaches to 153 and then through northern Hamilton County, even up to Sale Creek, has been very, very rainy. But Soddy Daisy has been taking the brunt of this, I would say, with the lightning, and south of Soddy Daisy as well. So here are some areas that some of you may be familiar with, like Dallas Gardens, New Salem, Miles Strait, Lakeside, Port Serena. When I first got here, I lived up in this area here. So it's still got a piece of my heart, you know? So showers and storms continue there, and there is a very heavy rainfall presence with that. Middle Valley Road runs through this area that is taking on a good deal of showers and storms. Daisy Dallas, Dayton Pike, Hickson Pike, all of those areas up there around Soddy Daisy catching some very heavy rain. So we'll back off again. And we're just going to wait here for a few minutes now, and we'll see what happens with the warnings at 2:30 Eastern Time. I'm trying to refresh the EPV map here just to see if anything's changing as far as outages are concerned that they're reporting. Now up to 37 customers, so that's growing a little bit, but it's still a pretty low number. But 6 repairs in progress. Some very heavy rain going on in central Hamilton County. There's got to be some ponding of roads for sure. It wouldn't surprise me if there was some flash flooding in some places there. So pretty soon they're going to either update that warning or they're going to let it expire, the 2 warnings that are up there. The 2 polygons, if you can see them right in the middle of the screen, one for central Hamilton County, one for parts of Bradley, and just a small part of Hamilton County as well. But that is where the heaviest rain and the most lightning is going on. So we're about a minute away from 2:30. Abraham says it's horrible up by Lakeside now. You know, I can imagine it is pretty intense. The problem is that the rain just isn't moving out. It's just kind of holding stationary there. I hear the rain on our roof. Okay, so there go the warnings. They've been pulled, at least temporarily. Let's see what happens now. I've got to believe that in this area right here, in the central part of Hamilton County, that a warning may be reissued for that area. That's a possibility. Bradley County as well. And into southern McMinn County now, we have a pretty strong cell as the rain kind of overtakes McMinn County, the entire county. And we're just kind of waiting here to see what might happen in this area that I'm pointing out, and also down towards or over towards Cleveland and southern McMinn. So right through here, I am no artist, ladies and gentlemen, but that area there is where I would suspect if we're going to get another warning here shortly, it would be in that area, somewhere in here, where I've done kind of a circle. But right now, no warnings are officially out. I'm here, still here. North Bradley County storming, Roslyn says. Charleston now has the lightning and heavy rain. Candace, we're just watching some showers and storms that developed very quickly late this morning, really early this afternoon. And we have been tracking a couple of warnings for Hamilton County and Bradley County more recently. Very heavy rain, some dangerous lightning, and some wind gusts with this. Not everywhere. It's certainly is. We have some areas that have had more than others, which is usually the case in these situations. Susie, I understand. I've seen that happen. And we're just kind of now in a little bit of a waiting game. There are no warnings at this moment. still just kind of in waiting here. It looks to me just now that the colors are changing a little bit in central Hamilton County. Little less red and a little more yellow. And what that means is that, well, maybe it's weakening a little bit. But we still got the lightning going on, but there are fewer lightning strikes now. But that doesn't go for parts of northern Bradley County and into southern McMinn, where the storms are holding their strength a little better right now. And just to reiterate, we are looking in northwest Georgia at not nearly as many storms. Dade County does have some. And they're moving into northern Walker County. And will likely affect Chattanooga as well, maybe even the downtown area. So for many who had outdoor plans today, it has been a difficult one for those of you in Northeast Alabama and in Tennessee, not quite so much in Northwest Georgia. I know there are some storms and have been, just not the coverage that we've seen elsewhere. So I guess they've had a chance to reevaluate their warnings here in Morristown and have decided to hold off on any other warnings at this moment. Now, that could change just any second, but that's the way it is right now. Continuing to see the heavy rainfall, although, again, let me get in a little closer here again into this area that we've been talking about. If you watch real carefully here, this Soddy Daisy area and Sale Creek, yes, it's still very intense, but it has reduced the lightning that it had earlier. It is less, and the rainfall is somewhat lighter, but not everywhere. But it is not as large an area of the heaviest rain. So I do think there is a little weakening going on with that, but it's still plenty of rain. And I am curious as to how Candace said it wasn't as hot yesterday. It was 94, which is plenty hot, but not 100. And I was curious how far along we got as far as the temperature is concerned today before the rain, probably somewhere in the 80s. Let's see if I can take a look at that. Let's see. So when I look at the observations, the last observation was at 2:30, and it was down to 81 degrees. And it looks like it got to 91 See, we were headed for a high well into the 90s, but the rain has chopped that off. So 91 looks like it may have been our high for the day. It's a tough call in the forecast, high temperature today. Now, some areas may still, like in North Georgia, where they haven't had as much rain, may still be having chances for temperatures in the low 90s at least. Like, let's see. I was just looking at Dalton, Georgia. Last observation, 80 degrees, and they made it up to 90 at 1:15, it looks like, p.m. They may feel like that they are going to be free of any severe thunderstorm warnings, at least in Tennessee. Now, those storms over in Alabama, they are still gaining some strength, I think, right through here, north in Scottsboro and north from there into Franklin County. This line here, this broken line of storms, is the one that has been creating all the warnings. And it goes from Dade County, although they haven't had a warning, but from Hamilton County into Bradley County and then curving into southern McMinn County. I thank you for joining us here on our storm tracking stream. And we are continuing to watch perhaps a little improvement. It's a slow improvement across Hamilton County, and not all of Hamilton, but where we've had the warning in the central part of the county, it seems to be easing up just a little, but still some heavy rain and some dangerous lightning. And then along the Georgia-Tennessee border down towards where a little east of I-59 and the Georgia-Tennessee border, some heavy storms there, strong storms going on. And that would be northern, very far northwest Walker County into Hamilton County now and Dade County. We still have the storms going on, and from still a large amount of lightning still in place here as far as north of Cleveland and getting into McMinn County. It's very much going on near Calhoun in Tennessee. Cleveland about getting out of the rain now. Over where it's been raining so hard, Soddy Daisy to Sale Creek has let up some in Soddy Daisy, it looks like, and is moving east now a little bit better, or it is just diminishing. And so we have this also near Chattanooga, where downtown probably not quite there yet. But in the Dade County and Walker County, we have some more showers and storms. And out in Jackson County, it's filling up with some showers and storms as well. Let me just go in here. We've had a special weather statement. I'm going to read you the last one that was issued here. This is including McMinn County. So in this one, this was at 2:44 just now. Strong thunderstorm will impact southeast Bradley, Polk, southeast McMinn, and southwest Monroe counties through 3:30 p.m. At 2:44 p.m., Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm over Benton, moving east at 10 miles per hour, another 10-mile-per-hour movement. Wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour possible, radar indicated. And these gusty winds, some of the impact of that, the gusty winds could knock down tree limbs, and unsecured objects could get blown around. Although right now I wouldn't recommend going out there. Big Will's here, just so you know.
That radar looks active.
It is active. You just came in from outside. How's it doing?
It was off and on. When I left my home, it was pouring, and then quickly stopped pouring, and then I saw a little. I'd call it a heavy drizzle.
Uh-huh.
It was sparingly hard drops of rain.
I got you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Will. There's a live report for you. We didn't even have to set up anything for that one. Just when one area is kind of settling down, which I would call parts of Hamilton County settling down a little bit anyway. But then there's other areas that aren't settling down at all, and it's still even creating more stronger storms, like between Cleveland and Athens now, also west of Lafayette in Dade County and Walker County, and in Jackson County, Scottsboro North, some strong storms. The way things are going for that storm in Soddy Daisy, I would say that the rain is going to be slowly here coming to at least a very light rain in the next 30 minutes or so. It seems like it is diminishing. But it's still heavy now in some places there. Let me update you there, because that has been a place that we have concentrated our efforts at throughout the afternoon. Soddy Daisy now looks like they've gotten out of the heaviest rain and is now just some light raining, and will likely actually end for a little while, at least for a short time, before any more rain comes that way. Nothing really impending as far as any more rain coming into that part of the world. So this particular cell that we've been aggravated by is now near Ware Branch. It's on Hickson Pike. Lakeside to Ware Branch was one area you could count on. And again, it's not so unusual now. I mean, it's not as impactful. The rain is definitely lighter than it was. But over here, from Benton to Calhoun, where we just were reading about that special weather statement, some very heavy rain, and the storms have picked up. And for those of you that haven't had too much rain yet, you're going to catch some of from that. And you go a little farther to the east, Turtletown into Hot House and Murphy, still pretty dry so far, but that could change here as some of this rain may get over there, although it's moving as the cells are moving to the northeast, but the entire line is moving more eastward, but only at about 10 miles per hour. The other area that catches my eye, a couple of them, is the one here in northwest Georgia with Dade County into Walker County, and also in Jackson County, especially north central Jackson County, Scottsboro to High Top. In Tennessee, things have still calmed down as far as the northern part of the viewing area from Pikeville to Palmer. Still some rain and still can be heavy at times in Pikeville, but doesn't look like the storms are a problem anymore. At least the lightning is gone. So this latest cell that has been coming across the Tennessee border from Walker County into Hamilton County will create some heavy rain. It's a pretty small area that we're talking about there. But now there's Macaulay Avenue or Highway 11. And you'll notice and be familiar with some of these areas, Market Street, East 3rd, Faust, as far as town, and then, or area, South Willow Street. So the downtown area getting some of this heavier rain. Down towards Alton Park, Piney Woods, Lookout Mountain, even getting into Rossville now. Spencer Hills down in Georgia. A little farther north, though, is where we are seeing some of this heavier rain. And actually, I should say it does extend into North Georgia. So that is something that will create a very heavy rain and perhaps even some brief flooding of roads, at least some ponding of roads. Some of those areas don't drain very well. I don't know about you, but we're going to stop this just for a little bit here so we can take a look at some of these things. I'm trying to, there it is. Trying to get everybody in here in view. So it's a little broken up, but we still have some showers and storms in some areas that are being created with some heavy rain. And one of the heavier rain areas is now southern McMinn, northeast Bradley, and northwest Polk County. So let's take a look there. I was just noticing that. Let's see if we can see where that is, like Luskville. There's Upper River Road Northeast. That's where some of this heavier rain is. Also, Clymer, Charleston, Rolling Brook, Benton, Ocoee, all seeing some heavier rain now. Now let's see how that moved in. It just kind of moved in from the west to the east. Broke off from the main line, it looks like. grateful that we haven't had to deal with any tornado warnings. I'd say now that that threat would be very, very low since everybody is, well, a lot of people have had rain, but there doesn't seem to be anything developing like that. And as we approach 3 p.m. this afternoon, a busy day. Temperatures got, in Chattanooga anyway, into the low 90s before the showers and storms took over, and that ended that rise in temperatures. It fell about 10 degrees into the lower 80s, and now I think we're probably going to stay there for a good part of the afternoon because we still got some rain. Overall, we're seeing some weakening of this rain area, but there still are a couple areas that are getting considerable lightning. And so I want to show you those. One area that has continued to hold together pretty well is this area now that it's extended into Polk County and has been moving slowly out of Bradley County. It's still in parts of Bradley County and into southern McMinn County. Some very dangerous lightning with that. Another area now that is started to, I think, see some lightning. Let me see if I'm right or wrong about that. Yeah, this is this area around Trenton. Trenton is kind of through with the rain, but east and southeast of there, at least for now, we do have some considerable lightning near Kensington, a little west of Kensington, a little west of Chickamauga as well. But those areas could be affected by some more heavy rain here shortly. Don't forget, if you'd like, you could like the feed. You could like our your page, our page here, whatever you might be looking at, and where you're receiving the data. We're should be on most of our platforms right now, but we always appreciate some likes, And just kind of eyeballing this and just kind of seeing that some areas still holding on to the stronger storms, like in northwest Georgia, parts of northwest Georgia, also that area in southern McMinn now. And those two areas seem to be where the strongest storms are at this point. So we're getting it a little reduced. There's also some storms that have some lightning in Jackson County in Alabama. Just parts of DeKalb County have started to receive some showers and probably some lightning and thunder as well in the very far eastern part of DeKalb County, east of Fort Payne. we've seen a little break here at News Channel 9 after having some heavy rain. It was kind of off and on, but I think we're seeing a break now because I don't hear it. And it looks like on radar here that most of where we are is free of some precipitation, even a little precipitation may still be going on, but it's not the heavy rain. But right now, as we look downtown in Chattanooga, it is very rainy and stormy, I'm sure. Looking out farther to the west here just to see what might be going on. Let's just back off a little bit more here. And you can see that the most concentrated area of showers and storms is over our viewing area right now. To the west, yeah, there's a few isolated storms, but it is not quite as intense. I'm going to switch something here just to be sure we're not missing anything out to the west. And you can kind of see that still, yeah, there's a few pockets of storms and some heavier rain in the yellow there that is moving to the northeast, kind of avoiding us at this point. Athens is about in the rain right now, pretty light, but there just to the south is that strong thunderstorm. I don't know if it's going to make it up that far north. It'll be close. Again, I'm Bill Race, and I'm in the Stream Center here at News Channel 9. And we are on many platforms with our live weather coverage here this afternoon. Now, I will say the storms down in Dade County and into Walker County seem to be picking up a little bit more intensity here lately. And I'm just going by what I see as far as lightning is concerned. Those storms are not to be taken lightly as they come into Chickamauga and Lafayette, and it really extends farther north into Chattanooga. So that patch of showers and storms does have some considerable rain and some dangerous lightning, of course. There's a very concentrated area of lightning. I was trying to see where it was. Canyon Ridge Road. I think I've been on that. Masseyville. I don't know if I've been there. Not sure. I was just looking to see if I can't quite make out the highway that runs through there. Somebody probably knows. I see the symbol there, but it just is very teeny tiny. 151 could be it. And that's running right through where that very intense lightning is. And that is right on the line of Dade and Walker County. 157. Thank you, Barry. My eyes are not what they used to be. Used to be, used to be. Trees across the road in Cleveland, Jennifer reports. No warnings. Right now it's just heavy rain and lightning. Besides the storms that are in southern McMinn, still parts of Bradley, and into Polk County in Tennessee, the rest of our area is pretty quiet as far as any heavy rain is concerned. We have some light to moderate rain, and there is one cell that is kind of sneaking into Franklin County from Alabama, south of Sewanee, though, well south of there. In Alabama, still got some cells with some lightning, but it is nothing that is creating any warnings. And then you have, of course, the larger area of showers and storms with the multiple lightning strikes, Walker County into Dade County right now, southern Dade into western Walker County. I do want to repeat, if you're just joining us, are no warnings out as far as severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings, no watches, no warnings right now. We do have some areas that are still receiving some strong thunderstorms and some heavy rain, but they're becoming a little more isolated now. And I do expect as we go through the rest of the afternoon to see this weakening. And that seems to be what the models are telling us, that we will see a decrease in the rain pretty quick late this afternoon. special weather statement. I think I've already read that. I'm here with you guys. I'm just kind of watching and observing like you are. We continue to provide information about showers and storms here this afternoon across our area, the News Channel 9 viewing area. And we have seen some very strong storms. We've had a few warnings of severe thunderstorm warnings. And right now we have a couple areas that are still with some strong wind and also some dangerous lightning. And that is in southern McMinn, just a small part of northeast Bradley, and then extending into Polk County. And then the other is still Walker County now, about the western half, and into Dade County, the southern part, and the extending down into Chattooga County and DeKalb County as well. So those are some of the areas. And also back in Jackson County near Scottsboro, they have been seeing rain a good part of the afternoon in Scottsboro and some thunderstorms. So, friends, we are just continuing to watch, and at some point here, we're going to be ending our stream if if it continues to be something that is decreasing, and the chances of warnings seem to have decreased now. I always want you to know that we do continue to update. And I will be updating on my business page, Bill Race Meteorologist, and also on Twitter. I'm sorry, X. I keep calling it Twitter, but it is X. And so those two options are there. You can also get the maps on newschannel9.com and go to Maps and More under the Weather tab and get some of these same images that we're seeing here. I don't think that Chattanooga is completely out of the rain yet. It looks like it's still raining in a good part of Hamilton County. And there still are some cells out there to the south and especially west that could still impact Chattanooga. Up towards Pikeville, where it's been raining a good bit of the afternoon, it's just not anything severe. And there's not too much lightning involved. Couple cells still up there, though, that is in Ray County right now that has some lightning with that. And also in Polk County now. And McMinn. And McMinn County is continuing to kind of get a little heavier rain in there and some thunderstorms, especially in the southern part of it. Looking ahead down the road here, as far as, let's take a look at some future track information. Maybe get an idea of what's going to be coming up this week. We're going to start off with some guidance here from the models, our in-house model, we call it. And this is 8 p.m. and you see things have cleared out by then as far as the rain for the most part. And we go into the overnight with some clearing, but still some clouds as well. Now, tomorrow is a day, this is Monday, late morning again and into the early afternoon, we will likely see some showers and storms again develop. And then that ends in the evening. So pretty typical of that. And then Tuesday, again, another round of showers and storms. That's why the percentages stay high over the next couple of days. And having to decide whether we're weather alert or not. Now, at last check, we didn't have, we were not under any thunderstorm risk as far as marginal or slight or anything like that. But I'm going to take a look now and see if anything's changed there. But my feeling is, yeah, it's a little cleaner. You know, I'm not inclined really to be weather alert on Monday at this point. I may change my mind. But the reason is that it may be more typical afternoon and evening storms and not seeing so much of what should I say? It's of the strongest storms that we would, our stronger storms that would be more severe. So it may be more general thunderstorms, which still can drop a lot of rain and have dangerous lightning with them. Our heat will continue, although the rain has been helping that. So that was Future Track, by the way, friends. And just looking here now at our rapid refresh. This is 4 p.m. Still some showers and storms, but starting to show signs of ending. 6 p.m. pretty much out. And as we go into the late evening, we end the rain chances. But still going on here for a little while. But it will get lighter as we go along. All right. Let's check out the temperatures now. See how we're doing there. So it's 77 degrees in Chattanooga after reaching a high of 90. Interestingly enough, Rome, Georgia, Fort Payne, 93 and 92 degrees right now. Calhoun in Georgia, 93. Ellijay, 91. Why? They haven't had the rain. And they may not have too much rain. Chatsworth, 83. They had some showers. Dalton, 84. The Tennessee counties are definitely rain cooled. But look at Murphy, 94 degrees. Now, I had a high of 95 in Chattanooga today, and it got to 91 before the rain got here, but that pretty much spoiled the high temperature forecast in Chattanooga. But we were kind of thinking that could happen. But as far as where it hasn't rained, it had the potential to get back to between 90 and 95, as we see on our map here. Interesting. We'll head on over here to back to radar, hopefully. And there we have it. There's still a good deal of rain. I'm not trying to play this down. This still has rain, and just when you think that it's kind of lightening up and not quite as much coverage, it kind of reactivates itself. But a lot of this is not thunder. Well, a lot of it is thunderstorms, but a lot of it also is just some rain that's left over, especially west and northwest. So I think we're going to end the stream right now. Now, if things change and we start to get some warnings, I'll be back. I think, though, that right now we're looking at still some thunderstorms, especially northwest Georgia, and also still going on up there towards McMinn County and Polk County. I suspect we're going to see that weakening, all of this, as we go through the afternoon, and not nearly as much heavy rain. But we still have that going on right now in some places. But I appreciate you joining me this afternoon, and we will keep you updated online and on the air. We'll have our newscast scheduled for 6 o'clock tonight. And also, I'll be updating the Bill Race Meteorologist page on Facebook and X for my page there. Take care, and thanks for joining us.